And we're here with Kayla Decker, the Miss State Fair contestant in the Miss Nebraska Scholarship Pageant. And I believe you are from North Platte, is that correct?
I am. I'm a North Platte native.
All right, now so how did you, I know there's no Miss North Platte or Miss Lincoln County, so how did you end up involved with the Miss State Fair competition?
Sure. Well, I have loved this system forever. I grew up going to the pageants when I was little, being here from North Platte. And there are local pageants all over the state. And so when the one from Grand Island came up, I thought, you know what, I'll go do this and see how it goes. And I ended up winning the first one. And it's been the first state fair pageant they've had in years. So it was really nice. They had some of the old state fair queens there with me to meet me afterwards. And it was a really great experience.
Well, that is wonderful to hear. Now, your platform is A Friend in Need is a Friend Indeed, guilt awareness. Talk about some of the things you work on towards that.
Sure, it's actually grief awareness. And
I'm sorry, grief awareness. I apologize.
It's okay. I kind of have two parts to my platform. I speak to people on what grief is, and most people have a general idea of grief, but I talk about some myths that you can grieve death or a loss and that they are two different things. But then more importantly, I like to teach individuals what they can do for a friend or a family member or someone they know when they're grieving, because a lot of times it can be really uncomfortable for us if we see someone crying or see someone sad. We just don't know what to say. I really got involved with this platform through a grief program in Lincoln that I started volunteering at, and it became my passion, and so that's what I'm doing with this program.
Okay, and do you have any other personal experiences that maybe kind of inspired you to get into this as well?
I had my own losses, but that's really not why. I toured a facility in Lincoln. It's called Morning Hope. It's a grief center for children and their families to go when they've experienced the death of a loved one. And as I was taking the tour of the facility, they have quilts everywhere, and these quilts were made by families who have gone through the program, and each family makes their own quilt block, and at the end they quilted together to show them coming together in unity with their grief and growing together. And just going through and seeing these quilt squares is one of the most moving things you've ever seen, to see a small child's handwriting saying, you know, Daddy, I miss you, and it just tugged at my heartstrings so much. And so when you come into this program, you have to be passionate about what you're doing. You can't just pick a platform to have one. And I knew, thinking when I wanted to compete, to hear what am I passionate about, and that's probably the most moving experience I've had with all the work that I've done. So I knew that's what I needed to be doing here.
Oh, very cool. Now, if you become Miss Nebraska, do you already have some ideas of what you could do to kind of further get the word out there and help people understand what you do when you see a friend that's hurting?
Sure, I'd love to speak to people, like I said, about tips of what you can do, what you can say. There's different tips for specific age groups, adult to adult, adult to child. I'd also like to get involved with schools and make sure they have crisis teams set up. All schools have counselors, but even more individuals coming in for longer than just a few days, checking in on students if there's ever a loss within the high school, middle school, or even elementary school, because we don't like to think about that, so sometimes we don't plan for that, even though it could happen.
All right, well, Kayla, that sounds like you do have a lot of passion for that. It's exciting to see, so thanks so much for talking to us, and good luck this week.
Thank you.